Hey everyone, welcome back to Money Mondays, where we talk about finance tips that any dentist can use to make more money just like that, inside and outside the world of investing, because that's where people get bogged down. They think that if you want to make money, you have to go to the world of investing. Actually, the easiest way to do that is to tweak the systems outside of that, so then you have more left over in order to do that. And here we're going to talk about customers, traffic, your website, your business, how to improve it, how to generate it, understanding it in more detail. So without further ado, let us jump straight into this webinar, Money Mondays, generating traffic. When I say traffic, what I mean is customers for your website, customers for your product, customers for your services. Remember, you have to get the traffic to get the conversions. That's the order of proceedings. That's what you have to do. That's where money comes from. So of course, not financial advice, although we're not really talking about investing today. We're talking more about products versus services. Now, here's the thing. When someone creates a product, when someone creates something, what they do is, the process is they dream it up, they create it, they build it, they sink a load of capital in it, and then they try to sell it. Now, you can have a product-led business or a service-led business. Service-led business, people always do it the same way around as well. They dream up the service, then they try to sell it to the customer and then make money. But what about if we were to think about it the other way around? What about if we thought to ourselves, actually, let me find my customer first, then create a product or service which is targeted towards that individual, their needs, their wants. Then wouldn't that actually be a better way, because we're finding the market first rather than going out there and trying to sink a lot of money into something and then find people who want it? So here's the thing, actually you can do it the other way around. You can find the customer and then make the product. And here's the, even if you've got like a concept or an idea for a good product that would work, why don't you find the individuals first, find out where they congregate, find out a little bit more about them, that rough idea for a product, tailor it more specifically to what they're saying and the feedback they give you, and then guess what, boom, at that point you are able to make something which is so much more specific, so much more useful, so much more valuable to those individuals. And guess what? A product is just value delivery, a service is just value delivery. The more valuable it is, the more likely it is going to be a viable business. So how do I generate customers? We have to see this from the other side. Where can I find the traffic? Where can I find the people? And then think about it first. And you know what, here's the thing as well, even if you've got the best product in the world, if you have no traffic, if you have no people who are looking at your product or service, if you have no attention and no eyes on you, guess what, it's still never going to sell. Even if you do actually have a tried and tested really good product, have to get the eyes on you first of all, have to get the traffic, and this is the order that people don't see it in. How does that correspond to your dental practice? The more people looking at your practice page, the more subscribers you have, the more people that you have browsing your Facebook group, your Instagram, anything in the whole wide world that has got your practice attached to it, then what that will mean is that you are more likely to be able to make a viable business and get eyes on you. See it the other way around. Always remember, attention equals currency. So traffic, if you're going to get traffic and you're going to get eyes on you, you must understand how it works. And did you know there's actually 3 different types? Paid for traffic, earned traffic, and owned traffic. So if you have traffic on your social media page, anywhere you like, even outside of the internet, just day-to-day life, it has to be one of these 3 types of traffic. And this is how. The goal is to understand, then you can utilize. Because if you understand it, then you'll know what you're doing, the pros and cons, and whether or not your strategy is the best thing for your business, and also understand whether or not there might be a better option out there for you. Paid for traffic. This is the route that everybody goes down, but actually it's not necessarily the best way. Paid for traffic is your advertising. Paid for traffic is if you go to an advertising agency and you say, I'm going to pay you £50 for this advert, broadcast it over 7 days, hopefully we're going to get some customers. Now this does work, but really you need to have a good understanding of advertising and marketing in order to get the most from it. So this is why most people outsource this. Now here's the thing, if we're paying for traffic and TV ads or newspapers and things of those nature, are we even necessarily getting a good return on our money? Are we even necessarily getting something that's worth it in return for what we've paid? That's the question. It's a massive question. And I actually think that social media adverts are still way, 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 way too underpriced for the amount of eyes that they get on you, even to this very day. But the thing about it is, you'll have to get someone to do this for you, because if anybody's ever tried to use Meta Business Suite, Facebook Advertising Business Suite, or any business suite for any platform, you'll know that actually it's deceptively complicated. It's easy to go and put an advert out, but will it be a good advert? That's the question. So getting a good advertising agency is so super important. And if you're going to do it, you must pay for it. But this is actually the least powerful way, because guess what? Just like anybody watching this webinar, if you see an advertisement, what do? You flip and switch off or change the TV channel. So we have to be a little bit more clever. We can do this. It's certainly the most straightforward way. You just outsource it to someone else. At least that would be my advice, unless you're very competent and knowledgeable on this source of medium that you're using to advertise to your potential patients or customers. I would be extremely careful, and just know it's not the only way, because this is the thing that everybody leaps at when they're trying to advertise their product or their service. They jump at it, don't they? Because everybody thinks, oh, we'll have to have an advertising budget. Oh, we'll have to do this. Actually, there are better ways, but they require time. Earn traffic. Here's a beautiful one. If you go on someone's podcast or you go on someone else's channel who has a following, they have traffic. They have people who use their channel. They have people who follow their content. Now, if you can talk to those people via their platform, guess what you can do? You can refer them back to your business. And that can be a dental practice, that can be anything. It's just that this method isn't often used in the dental industry, but it can be used for, let's say you've got a Facebook group, or let's say you've got a platform, or let's say you've got anything in the whole wide world and you want to boost the traffic that's going there. Earn traffic would be going to other platforms, getting to know the people who run those, creating some content together, and then fingers crossed that they'll share it on their platform as well. Here's the thing. If you just randomly contact people who are in a position to leverage their network for you, guess what? They get a million requests like that every single day. So they mightn't always be too warm and welcoming and ready to do it. And that's why you have to dig your well before you're thirsty. Now, I love that saying. And what that means is, if you're thirsty, you don't wait around until you're thirsty to dig a well. What you do is you start digging, and then you know you're going to become thirsty as time goes on. What I mean by that is you have to plant the seed with them and get to know them over a period of time, rather than just cold call them, because that's never going to work. Yet everybody does that. Everybody can't see it from the other side. If you run a platform and you're getting loads of requests from people to appear on your platform, you're not going to be welcoming to every single one. But what they will more than likely do is let you come on if they know you already, or if you've got to know them over a period of time, or if you have your own platform, because then they'll understand that you can both share that content on each one of your platforms. Finally, we have own traffic. Now, this is the most powerful one. This is traffic that you own because it's on your platform. What your platform looks like, that can be a Facebook group, that can be an Instagram following, that can be an emailing list. And this traffic you can use for your own purposes, but always remember that you have to give those people value to build rapport, to build trust, so that they get to know you, and then they're more likely to come on the next stage of the journey, which is to buy your product from you or work with you in something that you do. And always remember, the second that you start advertising way too much to these people, they're just going to turn off, just like anybody else. Think about how you'd feel if someone did that to you. You'd just turn off, you'd lose interest, wouldn't you? And it's exactly the same for everybody else. And this is why you must be super careful to curate your own traffic and be really good to it and provide valuable content. And Gary Vee has a saying, which I love, which goes along the lines of jab, 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 right hook. And what that means is that you should put out 3 to 4 really good bits of valuable content before you put out something else which has a call to action in it. You put out a piece of content which has a call to action in it, such as buy your product, or such as do this, or such as do that. And people will remain on your page because they will see that there's so much valuable stuff on there that it would be completely ludicrous for them to leave. Then, as well as that, if you wish, and if you wish to monetize it and you know that you can help people, and for that there would be a form of investment to ensure that they get value from it, and to ensure that you can propagate the business or propagate whatever it is that you're growing, and continue and ensure that will continue and it will get bigger, then that will mean that you have to have some money involved at some point, because money is how the world works. Money is like you've got the cogs and you've got the grease in between it. You need some grease between the cogs to keep it moving, or else they get stuck and they don't move. And that's the way to see it. Taking money is all about intention. It's what you do with it. It's what you use it for. And you can use it to grow your following, grow your group, do whatever you like. But like I say, you just have to be careful to provide lots of value and make sure those owned customers stay loyal to you. The idea of owned traffic is to convert all of your earned traffic and all of your traffic which you have paid for into owned traffic, because then that means it's yours. And however you do that, whichever platform you use, that'll be specific to your business. So for a dental practice, it might be following their Instagram. The more people you can get following your Instagram, the more profitable your practice is. It's crazy the number of leads you can get from Instagram. Just about growing that following is really easy to do when you do know the mechanics. I'm going to make videos on that at some point in the future. When you know the mechanics of how it's done, it's simple. Just always remember value, 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 then ask. So, summary. Most people do it the wrong way around. They spend loads of money kitting out their dental practice, but they never think about where to generate leads from. Generate traffic alongside focusing on the product, or even generate the traffic first and then use that to hone your product, because the iteration cycle has begun. An amazing way of looking at things. Plant seeds and get to know potential collab guests before you ask to work with them. So important. If you cold call people, just think how you feel when you're cold called. Probably not going to get back to that person, and the same thing works and vice versa. Leverage social media properly for your online business or for your dental practice or for whatever business that you have, because it's massive. This is how you get the traffic. And remember, you can't focus on the product too much, because then you'll never have a business. I actually think you should focus on the traffic first and then create the product around that. And also, as well as that, convert other traffic, convert paid for traffic and earned traffic to own traffic, because then it's yours. And you can continue to grow your own traffic no matter what happens to the other sources, no matter what happens to your other resources. You can take that and repurpose it for other things. So important. See you next week. Thanks so much for your time.